Week 2 turned out to be an exciting one. We were left with a mere pair of undefeated teams, and almost like the script was pre-written, they face off in Week 3. We had the league's first 6-0, and it was an impressive 1v6 at that. Some teams bounced back, and others fell back down to earth. I hope you'll stick around as we discuss all this and more on Pokemon Center. Hello everybody and welcome to Week 3 of Pokemon Center, the show dedicated to keeping you updated on everything happening in the GSPL. I'm your host, Bo, and I'm joined by Harrison, the owner of the Miami Metagross.
Hey, how's it going, everyone?
Hey, Harrison. And I also have Trevor, owner of the Montreal Mudkips.
Hey, guys.
Hey. So what we're going to do tonight, we have kind of a bigger list of things to do than normal just because we actually have transactions this week. But we were going to talk about the games that happened, maybe a couple of the games that stood out to us. Then we're going to recap some Mons who stood out to us, that we just thought performed well this week. We're going to take a look at the transactions. Actually, ironically, the two people that have made transactions are the two owners on with me here, so that should be fun. We should get some insight into the reasonings and stuff. We will look ahead to the upcoming games. Again, we won't talk about their two games, but we still do have two other games. And then we will look at the MVP of each team so far. And that'll be it. You guys ready?
Awesome.
Ready.
All right. Well, I guess let's just jump right into it. The games that we had this week, anyone want to speak to any of them? We had you see it on the screen, the Mudkips versus the Kingdras, the Bidoof versus the Metagross, the War Turtles versus the Monfernos, and the Thundurus versus the Pokemon team.
For the most part, every game this week was pretty much one-sided except the Thundurus and the Pokemon team.
Yeah. That game, what did that game end up being? Was that a 3-0?
I think it was a 3-0.
Yeah, and even that's not particularly close. Because, I guess you're right. We had, a 6-0, 2 5-0s, and a 3-0?
Yep.
Yeah, not
We did.
a close week, I guess you could say.
No.
Yeah, I don't know. Any of the games, do you have anything worth talking about, you think?
What was it? The War Turtles 6-0'd the Monfernos with
It's hard
Mew.
not to talk about that game.
Yeah. I was thinking, that's the game I think that's on everyone's mind. Not only was it a 6-0, it was a 1v6.
Yeah, sweet.
Yeah, the only one Pokemon. As the person who did the damage calculation for that game, it was a lot easier than most, just because I knew no one did anything, at least other than the Mew on the War Turtle side, so that was fun. Yeah, it was. Mm-hmm. And yeah, Mew ended up being the damage leader and of the week, and he took the most damage as well of the week, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, boosting your defenses to +4 both on the physical and special side, and then just spamming Roost is gonna allow you to just tank all of that damage, barring crits. Mm-hmm. And I think it really went to show just how versatile a Mew is.
Yeah.
Running, Cosmic Power, and Cosmic Power to Stored Power.
Yep. Roost and
whatever
I don't know if we ever found out what the last move was, to be honest with you. I'm not sure we ever clicked it.
I don't think you did.
Yeah, I don't think so. I guess it's hard to find something even resisted that's going to do more damage than a stored power after all those boosts. So
yeah,
that
was pretty ridiculously one-sided.
Yeah,
I thought it was good planning. On the War Turtle side, especially seeing the team that the Monfernos brought in front of them, knowing that what they were going to have to deal with in that game, nothing was going to be able to hit that Mew super effectively. Like
Nope.
They brought an Infernape, a Feraligatr, a Venusaur, looks like a Thundurus.
Yep, a Lucario.
And a Lucario.
Yep.
Nothing's going to be hitting that Mew super effectively from any stab.
It's not stab, yeah.
Yeah, and since he was running such a defensive Mew, it just allowed for the setup and the sweep, and it was pretty brutal.
Yeah, I think he just needed. I think from the Monferno side, he just needed to toxic it. I think that's how he gets out of that. But he body slammed a couple times and paralyzed it. So did not. I suppose that did almost let him kill it due to it getting paralyzed a few times in a row there in the middle game.
I got down pretty low that one time.
I think 2% it got down to before roosting back up. But yeah. What about your guys' games? I guess, Trevor, yours, I suppose, went worse than Harrison's did.
Went pretty poorly, yeah.
Yeah. What do you think happened?
Honestly, kind of forget. I pushed it back way back into my memory.
Pushed it back into okay, sure.
Yeah.
What about you, Harrison? You 5-0'd? Is that right?
Yeah, so I 5-0'd. I had the potential for a 6-0 if I had gotten a little fancy, but I decided near the end to, instead of trying to do some clever switches, just to hit Explosion on my Gigalith to get the free switch in for my Excadrill and Sand, which set up the sweep just at the end.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, shoot, I guess that's all the only one that was really close. I mean, it's weird because the closest one was not the one that stands out to you because of the Mew sweep.
Yeah, exactly.
But that was almost, I think if Tailwind not on the Whimsicott, that could have been a 6-0 as well, or at least close. So that was ugly. But
having the Whimsicott with the Tailwind helped to sort of save a little differential.
I mean, it saved the game.
Yeah.
But all right. Well, the games weren't close. So I guess, I mean, to look at the Pokemon that stood out, I guess other than the Mew, because I think we kind of talked about him. Do you guys think? Can you think of any Mons that, I don't know, performed well this week?
I think you brought up the Whimsicott. I think the Whimsicott especially clicking Tailwind at the right time, it saved the game. Yeah. At the very least, saved a couple of kills. Yeah. To help save some differential.
Yeah, probably.
If not the entire game.
Yeah. Yeah, it would have been really clever. I would have been so risky, but I was talking to Zeke about it. If he clicks Shell Smash again on the Tailwind, I'm pretty sure he just wins the game on the spot.
A double Shell Smash would have been pretty crazy, and not something you see often in like regular OU.
Yeah, no, it would not have been, and I think it would have won the game. Maybe the Cloyster maybe can't kill the Starmie, but I don't know.
Yeah. And then also, I think not to toot my own horn, but I think Excadrill showed how effective it can be as a late game sweeper in Sand. Picking up 3 kills on the back end and 4 overall. I think it showed that not just my Noivern is an offensive problem.
Yeah. Funnily enough, Excadrill did not actually do the most damage on your team, though.
Nope, Noivern.
No, that goes to Gigalith. I'm saying this week even. Gigalith did a little bit more damage. Just with all that sand, man, just racks up damage.
It really does. It really chips away, and people often don't really consider like the sand damage when they're worrying about dealing with a team that runs sand. Yeah. They worry about the speed of Pokemon that get boosted, like Excadrill with Sand Rush. Yeah. You worry about rock types getting a boost to their special defense.
Yeah, but you don't
really consider the small little chip damage from sand, which is minor, but when added up, it can really rack up a toll on a team. Yeah,
I mean, to just sort of speak to that, Tyranitar was second in damage this week, actually, with 365, and a lot of that. I mean, if you just look at this sheet here, there's a lot of just 6s on it. and that's just because of a bunch of sand damage that he did to random things. Yeah, I mean, he actually did more than 40% of his team's damage, which I know doesn't sound that impressive when you consider there's the Mew that did 100%, but that's a lot of damage. That's a very high percentage of damage for him to be doing. That's more than 2 Mons worth of, the other Mon that actually same game, I think that did a lot was Tangrowth. Tangrowth was kind of a menace for you, Trevor, to deal with.
He was indeed.
Yeah, it just, I don't know, it's just Regenerator just really showing its stuff here, because it took 114 damage throughout the game, but by the end of the game it wasn't even close to dead, just because of all that Regenerator heal. And it did 247 back, so I'm trying to remember the set now. It was Knockoff, Sleep Powder, Earthquake. I don't know if we saw the last move, but yeah, it did a lot for sure. Chansey actually I thought had a good game for you, Trevor.
Chansey didn't do too bad.
Yeah, I felt
actually, a lot better than the past game. Yeah, getting one shot.
Yeah, I know. Go ahead.
But it got some toxics off, and then I don't know, it did pretty good. Yeah,
it felt like that was kind of like the breaking point of the game is when Chansey died to me. Like, it felt like it was kind of holding back these just monstrous attacks. But then, like, once it got knocked off, and then I think the Durant hit it really hard, and then you switched it out. Yeah. And then, knowing it was just going to be as a sacrifice later. But yeah, it felt like that. That was big, or Chansey was good. Yeah,
the main problem in that game was, honestly, for me, the Tyranitar just denied any chance I got to get rain out.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good point. That's another thing the Tyranitar did to you, is every time Pelipper came out, so did the Tyranitar.
Yep.
Yeah, and I forget what the water berry's called, but even having that water berry there, just to help it live that hit, the Scald hit a little better.
The Scald hit, yeah.
Yeah. I wonder if, I think too, I wonder if that game would have turned out any different if you would have got the burn. I know it's only a 30% chance, but yeah.
I don't know. His Lantern also had Heal Bell, so all my toxic work on Chansey, everything got denied. Yeah, he had a pretty good set for my team.
All right. Yeah. So moving on to the transactions. So, I think it's cool that both of you guys are here. So I guess we'll start with, I have more thoughts on the Coco for Jirachi, just because I've like that transaction happened days ago, whereas yours happened like a matter of hours ago. So why don't you, I guess if you're willing, speak to dropping Kangaskhan for Stoutland and Wheezing for Arctozolt.
Yeah. So for the first transaction that I had, which was dropping the Kangaskhan for Stoutland, I wanted to sort of shore up my power under sand.
Okay.
And I wanted to maintain the benefit that I have of having a normal type, because I wanted to keep that ghost immunity. And I thought that transitioning Stoutland out for Kangaskhan did the best job, I think, for me. With it being able to have Sand Rush to boost its speed, and then as well as having Scrappy or Intimidate, gives me 3 really good abilities to play with. And I can also bring Stoutland even in Hail, and still have it be very effective with either Intimidate or Scrappy if I needed to. And then for the Arctozolt, I wanted to shore up my Hail team as well, and really solidify that I am fully capable of running a 2-weather team. I think it makes me a lot more difficult to plan for, because before I felt that my team of Sand with Excadrill and Gigalith was much stronger than my team of Alola Ninetales and Alolan Sandslash. So I wanted to add one more stronger piece to my Hail puzzle, which I think that Arctozolt helps to shore that up. And it also helps me deal with bulky water types, which are a big problem for my team.
Yeah, you're right.
So I needed something with a high base attack stat that could hit with stab super effective on a bulky water, and Arctozolt fit the bill for me.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, ultimately, too, I guess I would say, like, your team got a little bit, just overall, a little bit less defensive and a little bit more offensive. I think Stoutland's a little better on offense, and I think than Kangaskhan, and Arctozolt better than Weezing, obviously, by I would argue by quite a bit offensively, which I think is good for you. You do lose a Wish Passer, I guess.
Yeah, but I still have a Sylveon that can Wish Pass if I need to. And I think having the Sylveon with the Fairy typing is more effective than the Weezing with the Psychic typing. I was bummed to drop Weezing because I thought it would be really fun to bring a neutralizing gas set one week and turn off people's abilities. Yeah. But I felt overall it just gave me a better chance to field more competitive teams. Yeah. If I switched out for the Arctozolt.
Yeah, I mean, and like weather teams in typically are more offensive than defensive, just because like the things they boost are typically offensive, like they raise speed or like rain raises the power of water. So no, I think it makes sense to just be more offensive with your team. And I think Arctozot's probably a better rain threat than the Sandslash. So I think that was a good pickup. I think
so with the Arctozolt now I can have maybe a beefier attacker, and then I can have the Alolan Sandslash come in with Slush Rush. With the boosted speed and just sweep up the rest. And Arctozolt gets the Slush Rush as well. And I can also run it with Volt Absorb if I need to, which is
I know, I've seen that.
Or even Static.
Yeah, you get an electric immunity there too. Yeah, which is pretty cool.
I mean, I have that with Drill, but I wouldn't be bringing Drill most likely with a Hail team.
Well, I could see. I mean, I don't know what would you. You could bring it for like the Stealth Rocks or something, or
it would definitely be more of a support. It'd be probably like Stealth Rocks, Rapid Spin, Toxic. And maybe just Earthquake, or Iron Head, depending on what my word is of the other team.
It'd be cool. I want to see Mold Breaker one day with him. I want to see Mold Breaker.
I'm sure I will bring Mold Breaker at some point this season. I don't know when, but if I ever bring him with Mold Breaker, it'll be exciting to see.
I agree. Just like that. Well, never mind. Don't want to spoil anything from the team builder.
Check out the team builder when it comes out.
It should come out Saturday, the 18th? I don't know. I'll put it out after you guys finish your game, and I think you said you're playing it Friday night, so. All right, that brings us to maybe the bigger move, considering it's a tier 1 for another tier 1. What's up with the Coco for the Jirachi pick, Trevor?
Well, first off, I had 3 electric types on my team, so I just needed something. I wanted to diversify my team a little bit.
Did you? Because of the toxicity. I forgot about toxicity.
Yeah.
Sure.
Diversify my team. It gives me a solid steel type. I mean, I had Bronzong, but Jirachi is just, it can do whatever. It has 100 stats all the way through, so I don't know, it's just, and wasn't too happy with the performance of Tapu Koko. I guess I probably didn't use it to the best of its abilities, but no.
Yeah, I mean, Tapu Koko had taken 92 damage and dealt 200, so you definitely want to see more out of your tier 1, so that makes sense. One thing I like about this move is that it actually improves your speed tiers. You actually keep the exact same speed tiers, you keep the 130 base speed because of Jolteon, and he's ironically also electric, but you actually didn't have anything between 85 and 100 speed, I believe. 85 and 130 speed. So this kind of gives you one perfectly in the middle, which makes it a lot harder for because otherwise, if you were fighting a I don't know, 15 or 20 base speed, they can like dump a ton of EVs into their bulk and still outspeed like everything that they could. So I think that's good. I think you touched on this, but I mean, Jirachi is like significantly more flexible than Tapu Koko. He can be offensive,
100%.
defensive, physical, or special. His move, I was looking at his move pool, and like his move pool is great. Like he gets so many weird, random like moves that like he gets Aura Sphere. He can set up with Calm Mind. I think he has like, does he have Nasty Plot or something? Oh, he has Power Up Punch to set up the other way. Just look at like Thunderbolt. I think he has Ice Punch, Grass. I think he has Energy Ball. Yeah, Drain Punch. He can U-turn. I mean, so can what's his name? He has Wish. Like short of Mew, like this level of move pool is about like as good as you get. He has dual screens. Just a great move pool. And then I guess the other thing I would say for the positives, I think just diversity in draft is good. You already had the fast electric type. And I mean, Koko and Jolteon like somewhat synergize in that Koko boosts Jolteon's electric moves, but I don't know. I don't think that I don't think electric moves getting buffed is enough of a boost to justify
tier 1 spot.
Well, not necessarily. I mean, no, I think he's good too. I'm just saying, like, if I was gonna say, like, well, yeah, but Koko helped Jolteon, I don't think that justifies like the diversity you get over that. Like, cause like the Rain, for example, it boosts water moves and doubles Kingdra's and actually Quillfish's speed, whereas Electric only is boosting your power. Also kind of good on a Rain team, simply for the fact that he loses a weakness if it's raining. His fire weakness basically goes away. So that matters. I guess I do have a couple of cons. One, you lost your only fairy. I don't think you like need every single type in draft, but fairy is just one that I want to have probably most of the time, just because I don't know. Basically, any type that has an immunity, like ground, flying, fairy, I don't know. Those you usually want. Also, and I think this is the bigger one, you actually lost your only Dark Resist. Your team is very weak to knockoff. And that 5 of 11 of your Pokemon hate knockoff. One of them, I mean, Uxie, Bronzong, Jirachi, and Claydol are weak to it, but Chansey also hates knockoff. So I don't know. I think that's something you can address at a later time or whatever. But I don't know. That's just something I noticed when I was looking at your team after the. Something that resisted, or even like what's that ability called? Justified, like a justified bond that punishes them for clicking knockoff. I could see, but that's my thoughts on the transaction. I would have tried to think of more for the other ones, but I just did not have near the amount of time.
No, I like the pickup of Jirachi. I do. I think almost all the time having a Jirachi on your team is going to benefit you more than it's going to hurt you. Just for a lot of what you said, Bo, with just the sheer flexibility of its move pool, of its stats. I do echo the concern though of having such a concentration of specifically psychic types, and then 2 matching types with Jirachi and Bronzong, even though they do very different things. Yeah. But I still think it's a good pickup. I do like the Jirachi, and I don't think losing your only fairy type is a huge issue, considering that the fairy, with being fairy and you are immune to dragon types. I think you have your steel type still. True. You did replace it with at least something that resists dragon. Fair. Yeah. So there you go. You can cover that weakness decently well. Yeah. I would probably agree though. I would say maybe dropping Claydol at some point to pick up something that can resist those dark type attacks. But we'll talk more about that next week. Yeah. Next week we're going to talk about Mons moves we think teams should make. So that'll be fun.
Yeah, okay. Let's talk. Well, I guess, I don't know. So that kind of covers all the transactions. So the games coming up that I feel like we can unbiasedly talk about are the Kingdras versus the Thunderous, and the Bidoofs versus the Monfernos. Either of you have thoughts on either of those games?
I'm looking forward to the Thunderous and the Kingdras.
Yeah,
I think it'll be a cool battle there because you have Sun with the Ninetales on the Thunderous' side going up against the Sand that the Kingdras are going to bring.
Yeah.
So I think that'll be a really good game. It's a game against two very strong teams that both have very real possibilities of making it to the playoffs.
Yeah, same differential, same record too.
Same differential, same record. So this game right here could have major playoff implications if they're maybe fighting for a fourth seed.
Well, you were going to say something too, Trevor.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say same thing about this game. Basically, I'm thinking it should be a pretty good game.
Yeah. What do you guys think of, like, I don't know, any individual Mons on the teams that, like, you think could perform, or any, I don't know, anything like that?
I think I could see the Swampert doing some cool work for the Kingdras.
Okay, yeah.
Running it with Ice Punch to wall the Lando T, I think is big. And then it can also hit the Whimsicott. It can hit the Helios with a Stab Earthquakes. It can hit the Ninetales with Stab Earthquakes. It can hit the Regieleki.
What is it hitting the Whimsicott with? I guess Ice Punch.
Ice Punch would be it. And I would very much expect Justice to bring the Ice Punch to deal with the Lando T, especially. He's got nothing else.
Tyranitar can run Ice Beam also. Or Ice
He can
Punch.
run the Ice Beam. Yeah. So it's up to Justice on how he wants to run his set. But I think the Swampert does well, apart from dealing with the Whimsicott.
Okay. Yeah, the Whimsicott.
And the Exeggutor.
Yeah, and I don't know if anything learns like Freeze Dry on Austin's team, but something to look at if I was Justice. Just to make sure I don't, because that's a 4 times effective move then against your guy. Yeah, I think... Gosh, I mean, Tyranitar is always a problem.
Always. Same with Dragapult.
Yeah, but I mean, I think in terms of, I mean, at least the Thunderous, I mean, as far as like reasonable defensive pivot options, I think the Donphan and the Landorus are actually, they switch pretty well into the Tyranitar. They don't even get the chip, and they threaten it with like super effective Stab Earthquake and stuff. And also a lot of actually, just looking at it right now, a lot of Austin's threats, unless Tyranitar's like scarfed or something, a lot of them have U-turn, Volt Switch, or Flip Turn. Like even the Starmie, I think, learns Flip Turn. And so I think if he can like stay ahead of the Tyranitar, I think he's okay, because I think he could actually just, he switched into Tyranitar, I can U-turn out or Volt Switch out or whatever. I don't know. Is that going to be how it works out? I don't know, but I think that would be kind of my thought process. And then you just pivot pretty cleanly into like Lando or Donphan. I think they even both learn Superpower. Actually, both Lando.
I know Lando does.
I think that, what am I doing? I have it right here. Donphan. Yeah, he does. So I mean, they can really threaten that Tyranitar. So yeah, again, like I said, I think Tyranitar is always a problem, but I think in terms of like, I think Austin has like as reasonable options as anybody. Short of, I guess your team. Go ahead.
I think he'll be able to dance around well around Justice's team.
Yeah.
With utilizing those turn moves, like you said, the U-turn, the flip turn.
Yeah.
I don't know if any of his team will get run anything like teleport, but I think that Austin's got a pretty good matchup against Justice this week.
Yeah.
I think it'll really just be up to see how Justice wants to counter handling a lot of those transitions. Maybe he runs a couple of different hazards to punish him for that. And then in response, Austin might have to run a couple heavy-duty boots.
Yeah, probably.
Pokemon, especially on the Moltres. If he's able to get Stealth Rocks up, and the Moltres is not going to want to switch in if it doesn't have the heavy-duty boots on.
It's fine. I think other than the Tyranitar, Moltres does okay here. I don't know. We'll see. The other thing,
just not against the Arcanine at least.
Fair.
Yeah, the Arcanine, you could run Flash Fire on the Arcanine, then the Swampert is a natural wall for it.
Yeah. True. But again, I guess I was thinking like Hurricanes. He can throw off Hurricanes on like I don't know, a lot of things on his team. And then, I don't know, again, another U-turn user that could just U-turn out on his bad matchups. He definitely outspeeds Swampert if it comes in, and I do think he's slower than Arcanine, but I also don't think Arcanine's going to do a ton of damage to Moltres, especially, if built defensively. He has reasonable defenses. Yeah. And in terms of, again, I'm speaking from the Thunderous side here, it could be nice actually that Austin has 2 normal types. So far, at least, the most common move that Dragapult has clicked is Shadow Ball. So having the 2 normal types that I think he's actually brought to both games could play a factor. On the other hand, or on the other side, I guess I should say, I think Tangrowth is going to be big here again. Gives him a ground and electric resist, which is kind of some of Austin's biggest threats are like the Reggie and the Lando. I think it's kind of scary to bring it into like a Sun team, just because he's that boosted fire damage. But I don't know for sure if he's going to bring the Sun. I just don't know. I don't know if I would. Tyranitar makes it difficult to keep the Sun up, and he actually has a reasonable amount of fire resists, like you mentioned, the Swampert, the Tyranitar, the Dragapult, and then the So I don't know.
What could be cool is if Justice brought, instead of a Regenerator, a Chlorophyll Tangrowth to try and take advantage of the Sun that Ninetales would set up.
Interesting. Yeah,
that would require a lot of mind games leading into it, and I think a lot less likely of a situation. Yeah. But that could be something that Justice would want to run if he's worried about him bringing Sun.
Man, this thing is so slow. Yeah, no, he could. That's a good point. I didn't even think of that, but that'd be a cool play. Again, that's risky though, because like if he just doesn't bring Sun, you just like completely nerfed your Tangrowth.
Absolutely, Regenerator is just such a good ability. It would require some serious mind games and guessing on Justice's part to call that.
Yeah, I also like. Again, from the Kingdra side, I'm sure he's bringing Tyranitar, but I'm probably like bulking up heavily in the special defense department, just because the only 2 attackers really that he has that are going to be physical, I think, are the Lando and the Donphan. I guess Druddigon, but I'm not too worried about Druddigon being built offensively if I'm Justice.
What could be cool is an Assault Vest.
I was thinking Assault Vest. Yep.
That's my favorite way to run Tyranitar, because you already get the special defense boost from Sand. Yeah. If you're running the Sand stream, and so then slapping the Assault Vest on it as well, you're going to be wanting to hit things physically anyways with your Tyranitar, so you're going to want to run a lot of attacking moves. So putting the Assault Vest on it, I think is a good way to go, especially as you said with the Thunders not having many physical attackers, with most of them being special attackers. Right. I think the Assault Vest would be the way he would want to go this week.
Yeah, and then I think, I believe that if he puts Earthquake, Stone Edge, Crunch, and Ice Beam, he hits every single thing for super effective except the Porygon.
Well, we know Justice likes to run Superpower on.
True, but yeah, you're right. But then he's giving up one of those other moves. But you're right. He could run Superpower and forego one of those other moves. The Ice Beam, I guess, was mainly there so he actually could beat Lando. Which he's probably not beating Lando unless he runs like Fighting Berry and or something unique like that. But yeah. Okay, that's the Thundurus versus the not the Metagross. I'm sorry, the Thundurus versus the Kingdras. And then we have the battle of the team searching for their first win. The Bidoofs versus the Monfernos. Let's see, Bidoofs, Monfernos. Pretty bad matchup for Clefable, actually. Just with the, 3 steel types and a poison type. I think you still bring it though, right? Like I would.
I would definitely bring it as well. It handles the Dragonite, and it handles the Guzzlord.
The Infernape, it beats pretty cleanly.
So, and you know that the Dragonite is going to be coming.
Yeah.
For both weeks so far, for both weeks 1 and week 2, the Monfernos have brought the same 6.
True. Have the Bidoofs also?
So I definitely see the Dragonite coming for sure. I think that's reason
they brought Clefable last time.
Really? That's surprising. It looks like they did. Yeah. But they did mix it up though. They brought. That's right. They switched out Rhyperior for Victini. Yeah. Again, probably just one of his worst matchups. Triple steel types, but I still think you need it just to answer the Dragonite. I guess from the other side, my goal is kill Clefable and then bring in Dragonite and click Dragon Dance because he has no other Dragon resist. At all. Yeah, he has no fairies or steel types. So I mean that would be my plan. I'm probably bringing the Metang and the Venusaur just because they threaten the Clefable, and to me at least the scariest mon so far for the Bidoofs has been the Gyarados, and typically he has problems just getting through like bulky water types because a lot of times he brings like Earthquake and I don't know the waterfall or something.
Liquidation maybe. Yeah.
Also, Venusaur gives you a fighting resist, and he's bringing either Conkeldurr or Machamp. So I don't know. We'll see how that game goes. I don't really know what to expect.
It'll be nice to see one of them get their first win.
It will. Get them on the board for sure. All right. Well, those are the upcoming games. Let's get into like the, I guess, unique topic of the week. I guess we're technically a little bit over a quarter of the season through. Who's been your guys' MVPs of each team? Let's see. How do we want? Do you guys want to go alphabetical, just down the list?
Okay. Yeah, we can just go down the list.
Okay. So Bidoofs. Who's been the best Pokemon on the Bidoofs?
I think for the Bidoofs so far, they haven't had the greatest season as of yet. But I think you got to give it to Gyarados.
Yeah.
He's got his highest damage dealt.
Yep.
50 points ahead of the Greninja, both the water types. It's also taken a good amount of damage. It's taken the flat 200.
Yep.
And out of all the Mons that have been brought so far, I would say it's probably his most threatening, one of his most threatening offensive pieces.
Yeah, for sure.
Either Intimidate or Moxie, and people have to plan around that. When I fought Hunter, I had to plan around a Dragon Dancing Gyarados.
Right.
So I think just the psychology of having a Gyarados on your team and the threat of bringing it makes people have to plan around it. Yeah. So I would say the Gyarados has probably been the Bidoof's MVP as of now.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, and if it doesn't get toxic in week 1, it could have got a few more kills because it was like a +2. So just kind of the closest thing to really like pulling off a successful sweep so far. So I think it's got to be the Gyarados. Do you agree, Trev?
Yes, that was my pick.
Let's see. Okay, what about the War Turtles?
Easy.
It's me.
This one, like, I don't even think we have to talk about it. I got 6. It has the only 6 kill week. Leads in damage dealt, and it might lead in damage taken overall. I actually should have checked that before this, but 378 damage taken might be the most. I mean, I don't even. Like some of these, I think there's like discussions for, but like this one, it just has to be Mew, right? I mean,
when you can credit an entire win to one Pokemon, I think that is justification enough for it to be the MVP as of now for him,
right? And not only
as of now for the whole league,
right? Yeah, no, for sure. And I mean, like, not only did it do that, but like because of that, basically no other Mon did anything for a week. So like half of their games are just nothing. Let's see what's next. The Metagross. Harrison. Let's ask Trevor. Trevor, who do you think is the Metagross's MVP?
Well, it's between Excadrill and Noivern, I believe.
Yeah, I think this
Excadrill did work week 2. Noivern did work week 1. But probably currently, I don't know.
There's no wrong answer. It's all good.
I don't know, because one has more damage, one has more kills.
True. I mean, I agree. I think this is the first one where there's actually like a conversation to be had. And I was leaning Excadrill, but like, I don't know, like the fact that Excadrill basically needs support from Gigalith, like to do its job, or at least the job that you've asked of it so far. Whereas Noivern has stood on its own. I mean, it doesn't. It's been. Have you led it both times actually?
I have.
Yeah. I mean,
week 1 I clicked Draco Meteor, and week 2 I clicked Hurricane. I was able to get kills on the first turn both times.
Yep. Just got you off to the right start both times. And it doesn't need anything. Like it doesn't care what else you bring. You don't have to. It doesn't have like any team building constraints.
Correct. It can come in sand, it can come in hail.
Yeah. What do you think, though? Do you agree with us? Do you disagree? Do you think it should be that? Maybe you're like, no, it should be the Gigalith.
I think the points you brought up for both Noivern and Excadrill are absolutely true. I think the Noivern on its own stands better, but I would say, like, as the person who makes the teams and I'm doing the game planning, Gigalith is my most important piece.
Yeah. Okay.
Be able to set up my Excadrill, because my Excadrill Understand is the best piece I have on my team. It's better than my Noivern Understand, and having either Sand Rush or Sand Force on the Excadrill is really nice, but I need the Sand either way.
Yeah.
So, based off of stats, it's probably going to have to be Noivern, because Noivern can just come in and click buttons. But looking at an entire team composition, Gigalith is my MVP, because without him, Excadrill is extremely crippled.
Fair enough. Okay, okay. Wow, no one picked Excadrill. All right, cool. I really thought Excadrill was going to get a pick there just because it's second in kills.
We'll see how Excadrill stacks up at the end of the season.
Well, yes, of course. Okay, the next one, I think. Let's see. What are we on? The Monfernos. This one's an open case for me, but I don't know. I guess I'll ask you guys what you think. What do you think, Trevor?
It's gonna have to be the Dragonite.
Yeah. Do you agree, Harrison?
I would agree. A close second for me is the Venusaur. I really love defensive Mons that can take good hits. That's why I drafted my Slowbro. So seeing how that Venusaur has taken 230 damage and still dished out 175, shows that it can play both sides of the field really well as a bulky Mon, but also as one that can deal damage. Yeah. So I think that is a really good piece. And then having your Poison to counter the Fairy types and to take on other Grass types is a beneficial. Sure. But a Dragonite on its own is just probably a better Pokemon to pick. So I would say the Dragonite as well. And
I mean, Dragonite is, I don't know, for me it came down to just this last week, like he almost got out of that Mew situation because of the Dragonite. Getting that crit and taking it down to 2%. It I guess ultimately didn't, and it didn't matter. But like this reminds me of just like the Bidoof's Gyarados pick. It's just like the like best thing that they've done or like come close to doing has been because of the Dragonite or the Gyarados.
Yep.
All right. So next we have your team, Trevor. So I think this one actually is one of the more interesting ones to talk about. Teams, I guess I should say. And I guess I'll ask Harrison first because that's what we did with Harrison's team.
For me, it's got to be the Pelipper.
Okay. Yeah.
The Pelipper taking 460 damage and roosting off a lot of it. Dealing out 102, nothing crazy, but being able to take those hits and set up the rain for the Kingdra to come in and do 332. Yeah. I think, and the Kingdra is not doing nearly that much without the rain. Yeah. So I think it's the same argument for this as I have for Gigalith on my team. I think the Pelipper is the most valuable piece because if you lose that Pelipper, your entire team is extremely crippled. Yeah. So I think the Pelipper.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, I guess I'll say, so for me, there's like 3 Mons I think I could see getting picked here with, I think one, the Pelipper has just been like, very impressive with its bulk. Like I'm constantly surprised what it's living. Like it lived that shadow ball. It lived, what did it live week 1? I don't remember, but the thing just keeps living on things that I don't expect it to. And so I think it has a claim. And like you said, obviously it brings the rain. I think one of the first stats I look at is who leads the team in damage. So I think Kingdra should be there just for that. And then lastly, I think the Chansey had a very, very good week too.
Totally.
It really, I kind of said this, but it felt like it was the only thing holding back the Kingdras. And then once it broke, it just felt like the game got out of hand. So just like a Valiant, what's the word I'm looking for? Valorant? Is it Valorant or Valiant? Whatever. Good effort. Yeah, good effort from Chansey there. But I think I agree. I think I'd give it to the Pelipper. But what do you think, Trevor?
Yeah, for me, it's between those 3 that you said, and currently, I'm leaning towards Pelipper.
Yeah, he's been real good. It'll be cool to see. I don't know. I know now. Both of you, both the Metagross and the Mudkips now have double weather threats for each of your weathers. So I'll be interested to see if you guys ever choose to bring, like for example, Harrison, bring the Gigalith, the Excadrill, and the Stoutland with Sand Rush and stuff. And then same with you, Trevor, the Quillfish and the Kingdra. And then like you really got to give it to the Weather Setter because he's kind of the one that made it all possible. But
yeah.
All right. Moving on. The Oklahoma City Thunderous and mine and your brother, Austin. Trevor, who do you think has been the best or most important, or however you want to frame it, member of the Thunderous so far?
This one, for me, pretty cut and dry. I'm just going to have to go with Landorus.
Okay.
Yeah.
You agree?
Well,
yeah.
414 damage dealt.
Yeah.
197 damage taken, so that means it lived. There was at some point it lived on like 2 or 3%.
I think this game.
Yeah, last game because I killed it.
There you go. So being able to have that and deal out so much damage, have a +3 kill death differential.
Yeah.
I think it's absolutely no brainer. It's definitely the Landorus.
Okay. What about? Let me throw this one out there because I think Austin says that this was his week 2 MVP and this is his win. Is what about just the one move that Whimsicott clicked that mattered to Tailwind? Like just him clicking that did like. I talked about this, I guess, with the Articuno in week 1, but like the game that like led to the highest percentage points like towards him winning was the Tailwind. I know he has no damage and he has 100 damage taken, but he did save the game. You know what I mean? Like,
absolutely.
Yeah.
He had the play of the game.
Yeah.
He might be the Mon of the game, but the MVP of the entire team, I think, is the Landorus.
I can agree with that.
Both the games.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. Yeah.
But yes, I would see that play being like a top 5 play of the season.
Oh, we should do that. Good video idea, Harrison. Thanks.
At the end of this season, I could see that being a top 5 play.
Yeah.
Because that saved the game.
Yeah. And then, again, another one, he didn't win, but man, that Porygon Z living that outrage. Whew.
I know.
Yeah.
That was a great thing to see.
It was. All right. What about the Kingdras? Let's start with who answered for last?
I did.
Okay, go ahead, Harrison.
For the Kingdras, it's got to be the T-Tar.
Yeah.
Being able to set the sand has the most damage on the team. And I think the flexibility that Justice has with the T-Tar, I think it makes it the most valuable piece to have because you can run it so many different ways.
Yeah.
Week 1 running weakness policy. Second week we're running. Second week running the water berry.
Yeah, I forget what all those berries are called, but
Berry.
Is that one is okay.
Yeah.
And then I know the ice one's Yachi or whatever, but that's the only one I know. Yeah, I mean, I think I agree, but I don't know. Again, just like I do, watching that last game, that Tangrowth was a big problem too. It had a big game. I mean, and I don't know. And I mean, I guess the Dragapult, I don't know. It has felt like the Dragapult has just like done its job, but I guess it hasn't felt like it's done much more than that. Like, I don't know. I mean, he's doing damage. He's living. He only died once so far, but yeah, it's probably the T-Tar. Just all that chip. I think he's very high in damage overall in the season. I think he's like second or third maybe. But yeah. All right, one team left, and that is the Washington Pokemon team. Trevor, I think you're up.
Yeah, for me, well, between two Mons,
Okay.
the Cloyster and the Articuno.
Okay.
The Cloyster won week 2, or no, they lost.
They lost.
I know, but for him,
you're saying he was for him.
It was MVP for him.
For sure.
Week 2,
Yeah.
Articuno, week 1, MVP.
Yeah. Go ahead.
But for me, probably the Articuno.
Yeah,
just by a hair.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, the Articuno was so... I just can't believe what happened. Like, I guess for those of you that aren't in our Discord and are watching this or didn't look at it, the chances of the Articuno hitting back-to-back freezes is 1%, and then later on hitting the Hurricane, plus getting the first turn confused, and the Lantern hitting himself 3 times in a row. 3 times in a row is a 0.75% chance. So yeah, I just feel like I have to give it to the Articuno. Just put the Washington Pokemon team on its back. Like everyone was just carried by that thing. Do you have anything to add, or I don't know? Do you agree? I guess first off, Harrison.
I absolutely agree, and especially looking at the damage dealt versus the damage taken, seeing it be both high in both of those stats,
True.
It leads the team in both of those.
Yeah.
So I think it just shows how important Articuno is as a piece to this team.
Yeah, I didn't think I'd be saying that after the draft, but yeah, so far it has been big. It'll be interesting to see at the end of the season how this shakes out. I mean, this is one of my favorite Pokemon, Garchomp, and he's just been okay. Like, he just kind of disappointed by my boy Garchomp. It's my second favorite Pokemon behind Scizor, and he's just not doing it, but we'll see.
Yeah.
All right. Well, go ahead.
I think it's cool to see a tier 4 be the MVP of a team.
True. Do we have any?
It's nice to not see it just be all the tier 1s.
True. Yeah, we've got tier 4. What did we say for him? Tier 1, tier 1, tier 2, tier 1. I guess me and Trevor said a tier 3 for you.
Tier 3, yeah.
And you said a tier. Yours is also a tier 3. Yep, you're right.
Yeah, so,
and then tier 1, and then who did we say in the Bidoofs? Tier 2. Tier 2. Yeah. So, yeah, kind of spread, but definitely weighted towards the top. But yeah. All right. Well, that's week 3 or week 2, and then we're headed into week 3. Do you guys have anything to say before we wrap up?
It'll be good to see this week. I think we're getting the battle of 2 0-2 teams.
Yep.
That'll be fun. And then we're also seeing 2 2-0 teams with with the Metagross against the Golden State Wartortles.
Yep.
So it'll be cool to see sort of how things sort of shift in the pack and the standings.
It will.
Yeah. We also have 2 games going on where everybody's 1-1.
Yep. Every record matches right now.
Yep.
Like the game's playing, and I don't know how you write that, but it's almost like it was written. You know what I mean? But
yeah. Whoever's running this league must be doing a good job.
No, I don't think so. All right. Well,
I think it'll be cool to talk about in a couple weeks as we see different teams use different Pokemon, how we think that maybe the tiers should be shaped going forward. To see how
I do. That was
stand out.
I do think that'd be a fun topic for a week. Is what maybe everyone picks a Mon or 2 that they think should go like up or down a tier. I think that'd be interesting, and then we can talk about it more offline and figure out for the next next time which one of the changes we actually think should be implemented. But
that will be definitely very cool.
Yeah. And then I guess I said it, but next week, if you guys come back, we're going to be talking about moves we think teams should make. So Mons they should pick up, Mons they should drop. I'm excited for that topic. I think it's going to
be cool to see if anyone can come up with any trade situations that would be interesting.
True. Trades are tough in this league just because of the tier constraints. But yeah, no, I agree. All right. Well, thank you guys for being on.
Yeah, no problem.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah. And we'll see you guys next week.